Hello and welcome to my channel. So to start this clown look off, I used the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and this is their original one, and I put that all over the lid and then go in with my airbrush gun. The paint I have in my airbrush gun is by MAC, and it's their Pro Performance HD Airbrush Makeup, and this is in the shade Pure White. Firstly, I put it all over my lids, and then I go over my eyebrows and try to cover up as much as I can. To add some more coverage, I go over that with a white eyeshadow. The eyeshadow I'm using is by Urban Decay and it is called Bump. Of course, you could cover your eyebrows the FX way with a glue stick, but at the time I did not have a glue stick, so I just kind of had to make do with what I have. So to start this eye look off, I use the Urban Decay Electric palette, and the shadow inside is called Thrash. It's a really gorgeous lime green colour. I start off by just putting this in the crease, and then I realised I really wanted to make it into a big wing, so I went in with some face paint. This is by Snazaroo. I covered my whole forehead and my temples, so then when I went over with that eyeshadow I had a base down already. Having a white base is really good when you are using bright colours, as it makes the colours pop more than it would if you were just wearing a foundation. Now I'm using another green eyeshadow, and this is in the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, and it is called Hatter. I start off by putting this in the crease, and then I'll slowly bring it out just like I did before. To turn this into a cut crease, I use the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour Breathable Concealer, and this is in 100 Fair. I then used a concealer brush that I got from Primark and slowly draw out an exaggerated wing. Once I've finished placing the concealer I want, I get a damp beauty sponge, this is by Real Techniques, and go over it to get rid of any excess, and then I go in with that white eyeshadow that I used before and just set it. To really define that cut crease, I got some black eyeshadow on an angled brush, and I slowly go along the line that I have just drawn with concealer. To try and blend that line in a little bit with the green eyeshadow, I get a kind of fluffier angle brush, and I got that darker green eyeshadow that we used earlier called Hatter, and I slowly go over it to try and blend it in a little bit. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm using the MAC Liquid Lip Lacquer Matte in the shade Maneater, and I start to draw a really dramatic wing using a eyeliner brush by e.l.f. Cosmetics. Once I've finished that, I go back to that white Snazaroo face paint and paint the rest of my face. I decided to set this with the FENTY Invisimatte blotting powder. Going back to the Urban Decay Electric palette, I'm using the shade Jilted, and it's this really gorgeous purple shade. I put this on my bottom lash line and then also bring it out to run parallel against the eyeliner that we'd already drawn. I then get a clean blending brush and really blend that purple down the face. Then I use the darker purple that is in the electric palette, and this is called Urban, and I just run this along my bottom lash line again, but keeping this closer to the eye and the wing. Now going back to the airbrush gun, I'm mixing up the shades Landscape Green and Black, and these are again by MAC, and I start to draw a triangle from the cut crease up my forehead on each eye. If you don't have an airbrush gun, you can easily do this with paint or with eyeshadow, it's completely up to you. Once I've done that, I do exactly the same on the bottom lash line. To get that clown nose, I use the Snazaroo face paint in Lilac, and I just draw a round clown nose. To make it more of a warmer purple to match the rest of the face, I got that lipstick that I used for eyeliner and just tapped a bit over the nose. As I haven't painted the bottom half of my face white yet, I do that now so we can get onto the mouth. I still wasn't that happy with the nose, so what I did is get some black eyeshadow and just tap it over it to make it look a bit more dirty. Using a red face paint by Snazaroo, I start to draw out the mouth. I start off by doing the Cupid's bow and then bring it up to the direction of my ears, and then when it gets to the corner I make it into a swirl. I then draw another line inside the smile to create the lips. Once I'm happy with the shape of the lips, I fill them in with the red face paint. Now I'm going to start the neck, and I'm using the Snazaroo face paint in bright green and purple. I'm going to create a checkered collar on the neck. I'm doing this bit now because I always leave the mouth and over the lips last because they're the most likely to smudge. I first start off using a white eyeliner pencil to create the collar shape, and then I go in with the green face paint and draw a line right down the centre. By doing this, it gives me a guideline of drawing the checkers, because now I am drawing diamonds up that line, and then I can draw the rest of the squares off of that. Once I had drawn all the squares out, I decided to do every other square as green and then purple. This can be really difficult, especially in a mirror and things like that, so really take your time with it. I was really surprised how difficult it is to draw symmetrical things on your neck. It's definitely something I need to work on. Once I'd finished doing the checkers, I got a makeup wipe to clean the edges. I decided that the mouth needed more of an outline, so I mixed the red face paint with the black to make a much darker red and just lined the outside of the lips. Now it's time to draw the teeth, so I'm using the white Snazaroo face paint and that e.l.f. eyeliner brush that we used earlier. I just cleaned it up and used it for this. I really did not want the teeth to be realistic, I wanted them to be scary, so I made sure all of them were pointy and not necessarily the same size, so you can draw them any way you like. To finish off the neck piece, I gave it a red border, and right underneath the point I did a small red circle. To finish off the mouth, I filled in around the teeth with a black face paint. If you're not happy with the teeth that you've drawn, this is the perfect opportunity to adjust them by just going over it with the black face paint. Now we've finished the mouth, I just put on some mascara and then I put on some lashes. These are by Urban Decay and they're called Tricked Out. I then added some lashes to the bottom lash line, and these are just cut-offs of other lashes that I have used. Every time I put on a new pair of lashes, if they're too long, I trim them, and I always keep the bits that I've trimmed off. So once I've put 2 of the trims on each side of my bottom lash line, I put on this purple wig and this green sequin top hat. This top hat is actually from a leprechaun costume that I got online, and I just put a purple feather in the top of it. So this is the finished look. All products that I've used in this video will be linked below. Let me know what you think about this look, leave a comment, press the like button, and if you don't want to miss any of my future Halloween tutorials, because I'm uploading a lot this Halloween, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram, as I'm uploading every day on there. My Instagram is at brooke.ellis_, but it will also be linked in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!